Okay, I think The Walking Dead Online just took another pretty massive step forward. Because beta build 1.3.25 is here, and this update isn't just we changed 3 textures and fixed a typo. No, we got gun hit registration improvements, smarter walkers, performance optimization, and a new hidden fob. Map changes, new animations, lighting improvements, and more. And apparently, the walkers have finally learned how to use their brains. Well, sort of. Let's break down everything coming in beta build 1.3.25. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you're following The Walking Dead Online, you already know we've been getting a ton of updates as development continues. And this latest beta build is looking very interesting. We've got changes that could directly affect PvP, PvE, performance, exploration, and even the overall atmosphere of the game. So today, we're going through every major change in beta build 1.3.25, what it means for the game, and a couple of additions that I think could be way bigger than they initially sound. Let's get into it. Let's start with what might be the biggest change for the PvP community. Gun hit registration has been overhauled. If you played multiplayer survival games, you already know how frustrating bad hit registration can be. You line up the perfect shot, you pull the trigger, you know you hit them, and the game basically says, nah. That should hopefully become much less common with this update. The gun hit registration system has been overhauled specifically for more accurate PvP. And honestly, this is huge. Because when you're fighting another player, especially in a survival game where ammunition and positioning matter, every bullet counts. If you land a shot, you want that shot to actually register. So if this overhaul works as intended, PvP should feel much more consistent and reliable. And that could make gunfights a lot more intense. Because now, if you miss, that's on you. Not the server, not the hitbox, not your Wi Fi. You. Which means I can no longer blame the game for missing every single shot. um, that's unfortunate. But this next change might be even more terrifying. Walkers now use pathfinding to find and chase players. Previously, walkers could sometimes struggle with figuring out how to actually reach you. They'd get stuck, they'd run into things, they'd take the world's longest route to get around a building. Basically, they had the navigation skills of someone using Apple Maps for the first time. But now, they could actually use pathfinding to track players and chase them. And that could completely change how encounters with walkers work. Imagine you're inside a building, you hear walkers outside, you think you're safe, you start looting. Then suddenly, BAM! They're coming through the door. Because they actually know how to get to you. This could make exploring towns and buildings significantly more dangerous. And honestly, I'm here for it. The world should feel dangerous. And if you make too much noise or get yourself surrounded, you shouldn't be able to just run around a building and watch 20 walkers get stuck behind a mailbox. And speaking of walkers, they've also been optimized. According to the update, the game should perform better now thanks to the optimization work done on the walkers. And this is extremely important because having hundreds of walkers on screen sounds awesome, but if your computer starts sounding like a SpaceX rocket, that's a problem. The goal here seems to be getting more walkers into the world while keeping performance under control. And if this works well, we could potentially see much larger and more intimidating hordes without completely destroying performance. Which is exactly what a Walking Dead game needs. Because nothing says survival horror like, why are there 400 fucking zombies outside my house? Another technical change in this build is the switch to skin mesh player characters. Now, this might not sound exciting at first, but this is actually one of those behind the scenes improvements that could have a bigger impact going forward. Skin mesh characters allows developers to create more flexible character models and animations. and that could open the door for more customization, better animations, different clothing, equipment, and potentially more character variety down the road. So, while this isn't necessarily something you're going to notice immediately, it could be laying the groundwork for some pretty cool future updates. We also added the hands up emote back. And this one, I already know the community's gonna have fun with this. Imagine running into another player. You don't know if they're friendly. They don't know if you're friendly. You both raise your weapons, and then someone hits the hands up emote. Peace has been achieved! Until someone gets nervous and you get shot. And now we're fighting over a can of beans. That's the Walking Dead experience. But seriously, emotes like this can be useful for player interactions, especially if the game encourages more social or roleplay focused encounters. Now we have something that apparently returned from the dead, the no-clip glitch. And it's been fixed again. I feel like the developers have been fighting this glitch for so long, it's become a recurring character. Every time they think it's gone, it comes back, like a walker. Except this walker can go through walls. Thankfully, this build includes another fix for no-clip glitching, so hopefully, please, let this be the final boss fight. We're also getting map changes. Now the update doesn't go into extreme detail about every single map change, but this is still exciting. Map updates can completely change about how players interact with the areas, new routes, new cover, new points of interest, new places to loot, and potentially new places to get absolutely destroyed by someone with a full kit of gear. Every new location in the survival game eventually becomes, ooh, cool, I found something new. Followed by 5 seconds later, oh, there's a guy with an AK-47. But this is probably the most mysterious addition in the entire update. A new large hidden fob. And yes, hidden! We don't have all the details yet, but the fact that there's so large hidden forward operating base somewhere in the map is extremely interesting. What's it for? Military location? Important PvP hotspot? Special loot? Are there secrets? I don't know. And honestly, that's what makes it exciting. Because now, there's another reason to explore. And you know players are going to go start searching every corner of the map trying to find this thing. Now, let's talk about something a little bit more peaceful. The realistic stars are back, and I'm not going to lie, these little visual changes can make a huge difference. A good night sky can completely change the atmosphere of a survival game. Imagine walking through a completely abandoned town at night, no lights, no cars, just darkness, a few stars overhead, and then you hear the walkers. Yeah, never mind, I'm going home. But visually, this should help make the feel more immersive. We've also got some slight lighting tweaks. These might seem minor, but lighting is incredibly important for atmosphere, especially in a game like this. The right lighting can make a location feel creepy, dangerous, abandoned, or even peaceful. And I'm always a fan of improvements that make the world feel more alive. Or in this case, more dead. And the main menu backdrop has also been updated. It's a small change, but it's something you'll see in every single time you boot up the game. And honestly, a good menu goes a long way towards setting the tone. You don't want to open the game and feel like you're launching a spreadsheet. You want to feel like immediately you're entering the apocalypse. And finally, we got some minor UI changes and various bug fixes. These are always the changes that don't necessarily make for the most exciting YouTube thumbnails, but they are extremely important for the overall polish of the game. Every update that removes bugs, improves interfaces, and makes the game more stable gets the game one step closer to feeling like a complete experience. So, overall, Beta Build 1.3.25 is looking like a pretty substantial update. We've got better PvP hit registration, smarter walkers, improved performance, new character technology, a new hands up emote, realistically is in V2, another no clip fix, map changes, new hidden base, better nighttime visuals, lighting improvements, a new main menu, and plenty of smaller fixes more related to the bugs. Personally, I think the gunplay improvements and walker pathfinding could have the biggest impact of actual gameplay, because if PvP becomes more accurate while walkers become smarter, you're going to have to think a lot more carefully about getting into fights. You can't just shoot somebody and casually walk away anymore. You might attract a horde. And if those walkers can actually find you, yeah, you're in trouble. But now, I want to hear from you. What do you think about this update? Are you excited about the new PvP hit registration? Are smarter walkers going to make the game better? And most importantly, who do you think is going to find that hidden base first? Let me know in the comments. And if you're following the development of The Walking Dead Online, make sure you subscribe, because we're going to be covering more updates, gameplay, secrets, and everything else coming to the game. Because the apocalypse is getting better. And apparently, the zombies are getting smarter. I'll see you in the next one.